Fear not. Through my leadership, we will secure victory.
Awesome, welcome guys back to the most amazing gaming channel in the world. As you can tell by my shirt, recorded all these videos today. Wanted to get them up, finally had some time to play around with it. Wanted to not do them in PTS anymore because they changed so much stuff from PTS to the live client. So I apologize for having kind of a later build on Horus and Set. So hopefully guys, if you do like it, follow the Twitch and Twitter down below in the description box. Let me know what other gods you'd like me to get done. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'd appreciate it. So thank you guys, and let's get on into this. So first one, each time Horus is damaged by an enemy god, he gains a stack of Resolute. Resolute gives him extra protections and CCR. It only goes up to 10 seconds for 3 seconds. After Resolute fades away, Horus is healed by the amount of stacks that you had. I think the big thing on this is the CCR and protections. The heal per stack is very, very minuscule. You can see it's 2 times 0.75 per level. That gives you, yeah, even if you're level 20, like 10 would be 7.5. That's like, what, 17? Like, I guess that's 2 per stack, so it'd be 20 plus an extra, like, yeah, it's like a total of like 40 healing. It's meh at best. So, not the greatest, but the CCR and the extra protections can be pretty big because it gives you an extra 15% CCR and 15% or 15 protections of both magical and physical. Anyways, going on into this, your first thing, your first ability here, basically you have a little circle around you that knocks up enemies. If they're knocked up and you throw your draft towards them, that it does extra damage. So you can see here, using the current from the updraft, Horus' next basic attack within 5 seconds will create a gust of wind that travels forward, damaging enemies and slowing them for 2.5 seconds. This attack cannot crit. Enemies that are knocked up when hit take bonus damage. The extra bonus damage, 1.5 times. Well, so early game, very small. Instead of 14, it's 21. But, well, granted, plus 100% of your base damage, but yeah, it's kind of tough. So yeah, your damage, it's not bad. Your gust damage, if you're in solo, take this. I personally think he's a support. I don't see him really as a solo laner. He's just meh. Like, I don't really have much need for him, so to say, in solo. I think everyone else will beat him out. And it has a really long cooldown, 18 seconds, 16, and 16. You can see these are very long cooldowns, especially for not even being a stance switcher. Your second one, Horus dashes forward a short distance, ready to strike with his weapon. If Horus hits a god, he stops and stuns the god for 1.25. He will then do a cleave, which then their protections are reduced for 3 seconds. So pretty strong. Dash damage is decent, cleave damage is decent, and your protection reduction is pretty good too. So if you're in solo and you actually want to try and like take out and do damage, you want to start with your 2 and then do your 1, because you'll shred the reductions, then you'll do extra damage. Just kind of keep that up. I think that you know, your 1 is, and it's kind of tough. If they're playing stupid and they're in their lane, then you can use your 2. But I'm going to be done talking about solo because I think he's more of a support. Just giving you that heads up. If your people are playing stupid and they're standing in the min wave, then by all means use this. Level this first. If they're not, then level your 1. Then your Protector's Surge. Horus rushes to the aid of any ally. I know it says an ally, but any ally. That is both minion and gods. So after selecting the ally, Horus will fly to their location before descending. Upon landing, the selected ally and all nearby allies have their health restored and gain protections for 3 seconds. Very strong. 250 heal and 30 protection buff. And then finally, I'm sure you guys have all seen this as well, the ult. You go up into the you go up into the air. You have to sit up there for a while. The entire time, your original body is at its original location, being damaged if need be. You then have to channel for 2 seconds, and then everyone and all the allies in your original spot will go into the other spot. So, pretty cool. If, by some miraculous way, you were able to land on an enemy, they will be knocked back and take damage. Horus and his allies gain a shield upon landing. Shield is decent. Very long cooldown. So, to actually go into this, I think the first thing you want to level is going to be your 1. After that, I like going into your 3. Then your 2. And your 3 again. Again, I personally think this is incredibly strong. A level 7, healing your ADC for 250 like every fucking 10 seconds is pretty nuts. After that, go into your ult. And then that's about the last time I ever leveled the ult. The ult is, to me, is pretty useless. You'll never hit the damage, and the shield that you gain is minuscule. So, not worth it in any way. After that, though, go ahead and level the 3. At that point, if you need that extra damage, go into your 1. Otherwise, the 2 is going to be better. Again, I play him support, so I think having his protections reduced is going to be better. So, I'll go ahead and level the 3, then the 2, then the 1, and then the ult. So I'm going to show you real quick the ult here and why it is the stupidest thing. So you go up, you can kind of fly around. You're still back there taking damage, but say I'm like, oh, this is where I want to go. You see how long that takes. You're never going to be able to anticipate a movement. I almost missed Odin, a bot Odin running back and forth, because you have to sit there and go, okay, in 2 seconds, I think they're going to be here. So it really provides nothing towards gods. The only thing you're going to really be damaging at that point is going to be like Gold Fury and giving people a shield in order to do Enhanced Fire Giant. That's it. So, just kind of letting you guys know of that. For the build itself, again, I kind of like my Afro. If you find that they have a lot of tick damage, go Reinforced. Otherwise, I really like Hilarious.
Excellent choice.
After that, I really do like going into a Sovereignty here. And then at that point, into a Breastplate. I know you have a lot of physical damage at this point, but mages don't really come online too much. And with your healing, you can usually I don't want to say out-sustain their poke, but if you're at least somewhat decent at dodging abilities, you can just heal and you're fine. After that, though, I will look at going some sort of like counter build with people that like I've played a ton as Horus when there's been a set. So what I'll do is I'll go into like a Shoguns here. You could go into Onis as well. Really, almost any one of these are like this tree is I think the like best tree because any one of these is going to be amazing. Onis or Shoguns is probably what I'll look for going for at this point. Just kind of depends on your team count. You know, if you are going up with like an Anubis, Shoguns isn't going to be helpful. But if you're going with like a Hun bots, like if you're I'm trying to think like a Serkit and Anubis, yeah, you probably shouldn't go Shoguns because they're not going to really benefit from that. But if you're going as with like a Hun bots and maybe like a Nuwa, Shoguns may be a little bit better. So just kind of keep that in mind. Know your team, but most likely I'd pick one of these in this tree. And then after that, again, it's just kind of counter building. I like having some pretty good cooldowns on them because being able to heal so often is pretty strong. So you can see here, there is that. You can level that, throw that, and fun times. So I wish I had someone here so I could actually demonstrate the 3, but it can go through walls. There we go. That's kind of the combo I was telling about. So using your 2 to hit them, cleave them, and then immediately into your 1, that's what's going to be super, super huge for you. So to show that again, we'll go on through. There's the length of the dash. You can see it goes about, what, 35 units it looks like? But now you won't go through all of them, just to show you. It stops. Woo! There's that. Can't really dash to any of them. Dang, that's unfortunate. But I'll actually show on this guy here. And we'll do this one that actually has protections here. So you can go ahead and hit. Very, very strong, especially if you think about that. Knockups have no diminishing returns, which is why you don't want to knock up, gust, and then into the stun, because then they will be affected by diminishing returns, which is 66% of what it normally would be. So if you have, what is it? 1.25, it's actually going to be less than a second because they'll take 2/3 less. So that's kind of the route that I would go if I was you guys. Start with your stun, do the cleave to reduce their protections, go into the knock up, into the slow, and then you should be good. So you can see there. Now because I hit him with the stun to the knock up, it lasts 15 seconds. People aren't aware of that either. So 15 seconds you start. That's supposed to be a 1.25 second stun. None of that happens. Even the slow fell off very, very shortly. So pretty crazy. Anyways, sorry I couldn't do the full build. Again, supports so much to do with counter building. Relics wise, I like going into like a curse and then into like a sprint. Maybe if not a sprint, maybe into like a shell. I don't think blink is really needed with him. But hopefully that did kind of show you Horus, his cool stuff, his kit, how I like to play him. And I think he is an amazing support. Especially if you think that you can like walk to Gold Fury, you and your ADC can gank mid and you just cut off the back side of him. So you have your people in the front, you land in the back, and then boom, that's it. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Until the next time, as always, have yourself an absolutely amazing life.